What if the biggest struggle a child is having isn't speech, behavior, attention, or learning? What if the real struggle is that they simply don't understand what is happening inside of themselves? Imagine being little, feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, excited, scared, confused, but not having the words, awareness, or understanding to make sense of those feelings. For many children, especially neurodivergent children, this is happening every single day. And when children don't understand themselves, the world stops making sense. That's why self smart intelligence may be one of the most important intelligences of all. Howard Gardner called this intelligence intrapersonal intelligence, and it is the ability to understand yourself, your feelings, your thoughts, your motivations, your reactions, your needs. It is self awareness. And honestly, this isn't something I learned in school. It wasn't something I learned from textbooks or mentors. It's something I learned from experience, from years of working with children and families, and from recognizing that true learning cannot happen from a place of fear, confusion, or disconnection. When a child becomes self-aware of who they are, how they feel, and how they process emotions, something incredible happens. The world starts to make sense. And when children feel safe in their own body, comfortable with themselves, understood instead of corrected, that creates the ultimate learning environment. Adults who are highly self-smart may reflect deeply on thoughts, enjoy journaling, practice mindfulness or meditation. They know they need quiet time to recharge, and they tend to be emotionally intuitive, recognize when they're overwhelmed, understand their strengths and struggles, enjoy creativity and self-expression. They can be empathetic toward others because they understand emotions deeply. These adults often appear calm, thoughtful, creative, and emotionally grounded. They know who they are. But in toddlers, self-smart looks very different. It may look like seeking comfort objects when needed, wanting routines and predictability. They may have big emotional reactions, needing sensory regulation. These children show empathy when another child cries. They are beginning to identify feelings, using pretend play to process emotions, and needing breaks when overstimulated. These are not weaknesses. These are clues. Clues that help us understand how a child experiences the world. Knowing this completely changed the way I approach therapy. You cannot start therapy from a place of hard and unaware. If I'm working with a child as a speech pathologist, it means something is difficult for them. Something feels confusing, overwhelming, frustrating, or disconnected. And it is my job to help them figure that out. It is my job to bring my calmness, my awareness, my sense of safety into the room. Because before learning comes trust. And trust, honestly, was never truly taught in graduate school either. But trust changes everything. When children feel emotionally safe, they learn faster. When they feel understood, they participate more. And when therapy is built around strengths instead of weaknesses, children want to engage. Working with strengths makes children lean in. Working only on weaknesses often makes children want to run away emotionally. That's why understanding multiple intelligences can be such a game changer in therapy. Introducing Milo's Orange Pocket and Self-Smart activity. We start with something simple, a book about Milo's feelings and how they change depending on what's happening to him in the story. Inside the Orange Pocket is a rhyming feelings book, 4 felt facial expressions, and a strategies card. Strategies card. Happy, sad, angry, silly, as well as felt lollipop, Band-Aid, and blanket. As the story is read, the children help Milo choose the correct feeling for each moment in the story. They physically place the felt emotion onto Milo's face. This makes emotions visual, tactile, and playful. Children learn through play, through rhythm, through repetition, through connection. That's why the book rhymes, because rhyming helps language become predictable and memorable. The book starts out, Milo loves his lollipop. It makes him feel so happy. It's made with sugar and some honey. It's sticky and it's sappy. While the adult is reading the book, the child can find the felt item that Milo is experiencing and place it where they feel it needs to go. As a therapist, I love to sit in front of a mirror with this activity. Children tend to watch me more when they see me in the mirror rather than face to face. It's a fun way for them to watch me and my facial expressions, as well as for them to become more self aware of their own facial expressions. Another strategy I like to use is to bring another song, such as If You're Happy and You Know It. We can sing If You're Happy and You Know It, clap your hands. If you're sad and you know it, say boo hoo, boo hoo. If you're angry and you know it, say grrr. And if you're silly and you know it, we can hold up Milo's felt expressions as we sing the songs. Felt expressions. Milo's a full multisensory approach to teaching feelings and emotions. Why teaching feelings matter so much? When children can identify feelings, behavior begins to change. A child who can communicate, I'm frustrated, I'm nervous, I'm sad, I'm overwhelmed, doesn't always need behavior to communicate those feelings. Feelings that are understood become less frightening. For many children, emotions can be especially difficult to identify and process. Research shows many autistic individuals experience challenges identifying emotions and internal states. Studies also show difficulty recognizing facial expressions and emotional cues. Emotional processing differences can increase anxiety, dysregulation, communication struggles, and social frustration. So imagine trying to navigate the world without fully understanding your own emotions, while also trying to understand everyone else's. That's why emotional learning matters so much. This is why I believe multiple intelligences are one of the missing keys in therapy. Every child learns differently, and when we discover how a child naturally connects to the world, therapy becomes easier, learning becomes safer, and communication becomes more meaningful. Working with strengths creates confidence. Confidence creates participation. Participation creates growth. Before children can fully understand the world around them, they first need help understanding the world inside of them. That's what self-smart intelligence is really about. Helping children recognize this is what I'm feeling, this is who I am, and I am safe to be myself. Because when children feel emotionally safe, they become emotionally available for learning. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to continue this journey with me as we explore Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences and discover how understanding a child's strengths may completely transform therapy, learning, and connection. Every child is intelligent. We just need to understand how they are intelligent. And Milo is here to help us do exactly that. And remember, communicate to love and love to communicate. Until next time, bye-bye.